And would you please welcome Wally.
Thank you. It's late. I'll take it easy on you. I won't go today. But what I do want to share with you, my book, which is titled Required Dance, just came out. This is the first time I've read anything from it publicly. I'm having a party about the book at the Piano Factory on Tremont Street in Boston. Please come if you can. It's Saturday, January 12th at 8 o'clock. And I'll be reading it. There'll be a party after that. It's amazing about these in my hand, I'm telling you. Okay, I'm going to read the last. The manuscript is in sections, and the closing section is called Traveling with the Spirit. And I want to read the last 3 poems in that. In this poem called How We Pray, I was recently divorced, which was several years ago. Recently divorced, my daughter was 3. I was living in a predominantly black ghetto with a Baptist church nearby. And my daughter would visit on weekends. We walked by this church. She started asking me about it, asking about the singing, and I got into the thing about how that's how some of us pray. How we pray. We walk through a place where men sleep in elegant cars, and voices flutter onto the street like magnolias across a lawn. At the Baptist church, women sing, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. My 3-year-old child wants to know what those people are doing. I tell her this is how we pray, and then the Spirit has faith in its body. That is why there is dancing. A hymn demands we go to a mountain. The gleam of sweating faces and rhythm of clapping hands will take us there. Not poverty, need for grace is what we believe. My daughter, rich from her mother's country, doesn't notice her father lives poor, but understand flowers rise from the mouths of the forgotten. Thank you. This poem is called The Clearing. It's self-explanatory. A lot of this book travels between a very urban and a very rural existence. The Clearing. At the edge of a forest, just beyond a fork in the road, leaves sparkle like rubies, and branches heavy with autumn form an archway over the path. I sit on rocks at the beginning of this tunnel of light that glows through a world that should be better. I hear rifle fire in the distance, and closer, a stream. There's a rustling, then the breaking of twigs, and a man enters the clearing. He carries a gun, and a large hunting knife is strapped to his belt. Both of us are momentarily startled, but noting our membership in the same species, we nod and he passes on. Several times from the porch of the house a mile away, I saw a friend's husky shepherd run with strikingly graceful speed. We said on such occasions he looked like a deer. Last winter, a hunter thought the same thing. Again, I listen to a series of explosions and think of the men in the woods, how they'll meet this evening in a country bar, drink beer, boast about the size of their kills, and return to their beds where something unrecognizably beautiful and doomed will stir briefly beneath the eyes of their sleep. And I'll close with this. 8 or 9 years ago, I went out to the University of Montana with the idea of studying the poet Richard Hugo. And I got there, and Hugo got real ill, so that never happened. So I wound up trying to hitchhike, shoulder-length hair, full beard, earring dangling out of my ear, and a typewriter, and a backpack, 750 miles across the state of Montana. And, you know, they don't like hitchhikers. I got all twisted It was in August. I was out in the sun. I was hallucinating. Anyway, I wound up in a mission for a while in Billings, Montana. Point for Richard Hugo. 1. Montana Rescue Mission. If we sang the hymns and prayed, we ate the poor meal. At night, women rose in our sleep like angels of childhood. Children laughed, and money blessed our palms. When we woke, no women floated through the dank stench of rotting mattresses. If children laughed, they gnashed their teeth and jeered. Any brand of cigarette was a currency we could believe. Mornings in the tan air and dust, we sat looking at the earth which bore us and tried to think of simple ways to save our lives. In that alley behind the blue stucco mission, we knew eternity now said there was no hope. Wind from the plains swirled heat over our failures, and each day lingered homeless. If mountains mattered, they pointed a permanent direction to a heaven we couldn't see. When we sang, our voices cracked. When we prayed, we didn't mean it. 2. Believing it is so. Believe in a voice of stone, then listen for its one true sound, echo of water. Names are what we live by. Call the world forever. Believe this is so because you have made certain it will go on. Remember the woman who haunts the river. The sand in her throat is her last song, and trout run every spring. Summer in Montana, you were downing, I could not see you. I turned east like Plains Indian hunting mystic truth. Missoula to Billings, I wandered telling sacred skies it's wrong. Black nights on the prairie, unseen and evil creatures made their terrible noises. Antelope soared over fields at dawn. Horses raced through mountain wind, and mothers fed their sons. We need a spirit water won't offend, and a covenant. Be kind. Live your life as if it were a promise you had to keep or die. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. This concludes our evening here at First Church, ladies and gentlemen. But I want to remind you that it's going to be happening again in February, on February 1st. It'll be First Friday at First Church again, when Al Peterson will be the featured artist. He's a singer and songwriter, guitarist. And Wally Butts and Steve Jarrett, whom you have heard this evening, will also be here performing for you. So drive safely, and thank you all for coming tonight.